We've already assessed that we're going to have to stay the night, so next best option is to get our bearings, so in the morning we can effect self-rescue. What we got here, me and Will, we've already come to the conclusion that we can't effect self-rescue. So yeah, we've come to the conclusion that we're going to have to hunker down for the night. But before we do that, we want to try to get our bearings. We got a little bit of sunlight left. So what I'm going to be looking for right now is white pines. They're easy to climb, and they're the most abundant pine out here. They're going to have a wagon wheel pattern, which is why they're easy to climb. And then, all right, we got one right here. And then once we find these, this one's probably a little too small to climb. Maybe doable, but yeah, your eastern whites, they're gonna have this wagon wheel where all the branches radiate from a singular point. And if I was in a healthy pine stand, I could easily climb one of these, and then I can look for other things to get my bearing. I could look for sycamores, the white top of the sycamores. So yeah, we got us a white pine, and we're gonna go over some of the other, in the wintertime, this is one of your best friends. We're going to try to find a bigger one. If not, we'll have to resort to something else. But yeah, white pines, plenty of uses. We're going to try to get our bearings.
Right, so yeah, we found a white pine. It's too small. We found a few other ones, too dead. But another thing, another reason, several reasons we're looking for white pine is it's got fat wood. You can make, it's really good for making fire. A lot of people don't know this, man. You can actually eat the cambium layer of the pine. Basically, you have the bark, cambium layer, and then the actual wood. You can actually eat the cambium layer. We got fat wood, sphagnum moss grows on it, which makes it easier to find.
All right, so we've had minimal luck finding a decent size, tall, living white pine. So what we did find was a poplar, which is not the most ideal because the limbs kind of break erratically on their own, but that's the same thing with pine. So I want to convey this. Just because, we're looking for white pine doesn't mean we should pass up on every other option. If I'm looking to, hunt a rabbit and I see a squirrel or a raccoon, I'm going to take it. Just starting out with the best options is really smart, and white pine is what we're looking for, but we did find this poplar, very kind of unique poplar, the way it's growing. But that is also very climbable, and we're going to go ahead and use that because it'll work.
You guys may have heard me and Will talk about other things. How to identify things in the winter, and the importance of it. One of the things that we assessed, and some people may not consider this a survival skill, but it is, little details. If you look up here on this tulip poplar, you can see that it has flowers from last season. That alone tells me that this is a healthy tree and it is safe for Will to climb. Will is going to climb the tree, get his bearings, but before he does that, what we did here, I scraped away the top cover so I have a darker background, and I got whitish rocks, and I laid them out in a linear pattern. You can do this with white wood. What this really does is when Will's up there in the tree climbing, it gives him something that he can see from up there, so it's a reference point. This doesn't have to be north, south, whatever. It's just a straight line.
So there's a pile of rocks. Pretty simple. So the sycamores that I've seen are pretty much that direction. So I'm going to communicate with Dave. Hey man, we need to go, 10 degrees to the left of those rocks to find water.
Yeah, a few things that you want to look for. All right. Will dabbled on it for a second. Here we got poison ivy. You got all those fine hairs coming off of it. All right.
Poplar.
Poplar.
That's actually